Hi guys, here the two dummies again from Brussels. Maybe you watched our video with the former President of Europe, or maybe you didn't. Because when my aunt, who is a journalist at the National Radio, saw our video, she said, "Hello guys, nice video but way too long. Nobody will watch it. Cut it to 5 minutes max." That's why we're going to try to tell you about our meeting with the former President of Europe in less than 5 minutes. So, the main question we asked Mr. Van Rompuy, the previous President of Europe, was, is it a good thing to be part of Europe? And why? And his answer was that there are at least two very good reasons. The first reason is our welfare, and the second is peace. Welfare means, in fact, that we have a very good life. We can travel around to Europe without any borders. We can buy things in other European countries without paying customs. We can sell the products we make, not only in our own country, but in the 28 European countries without tariffs, which means we have more consumers. We have the euro, which is a very strong currency, the second in the world, so we can buy more with it compared to other currencies. The second reason Mr. Van Rompuy gives is peace. For us European teenagers, it is very normal to live in peace, because Europe, which Mr. Van Rompuy calls the old continent, hasn't had war since 70 years. But all around Europe there is war. He gives the example of Syria, which is just at the border of Europe. And we can just not imagine how bad it is to live in war. Then we asked Mr. Van Rompuy why a country like the UK wanted to leave the European Union, if it was also very good. He said that he remembered when he was the President of Europe and he had meetings with all the presidents and prime ministers of the countries of the European Union, they had to say yes, all of them, for the very important topics. If one voted no, they had to drop the matter. But many of those presidents and prime ministers voted yes when they were in Brussels, and then told the people back in their country that it was the fault of Brussels when a topic was not so popular. That's why many people have a negative image of the European Union. But they were there themselves and said yes. Another thing which is special for the UK, according to Mr. Van Rompuy, is their popular press. So certain magazines and newspapers only say negative things about the European Union. So when the British people had to give their opinion on Brexit, on leaving the EU or not, in what they call a referendum, 52% voted leave and 48% stay. But most of the young people voted to stay. Mr. Van Rompuy himself still hopes it's not too late for the UK to stay, but he admits it's late. Mr. Van Rompuy is not afraid many countries will leave the European Union. He says that certain countries have questions about the EU and want to change things. But leaving is not an option, because isolation is never splendid. And everybody sees with Brexit that it is very difficult to leave the Union. They even risk war in Northern Ireland, which is in Europe. Then we asked Mr. Van Rompuy if immigration was a big problem for the European countries. But he said that two things were important to think about. First, that you cannot just walk into Europe or into a European country and just stay there with or without job. There are rules. And second, that immigrants contribute to our welfare, because most of them work. Again, Great Britain has already problems because immigrated people are leaving the country because they don't know what will happen. They are very uncertain, and there are already now big shortages in the health sector. Not enough doctors, not enough nurses. My brother and I dreamt of studying maybe 1 year in Great Britain, but how much will that cost after Brexit? And will our diploma have any value in the rest of Europe? Our last question was the importance of Europe in the world. And my brother and I were very happy to hear that Europe is still very strong when it comes to finding solutions for the climate problem. We ourselves are very concerned about the climate. And Mr. Van Rompuy says it is important to be strong together for the big problems in the world. Otherwise, nobody will listen to you. And climate problems don't stop at our borders. So guys, hope we have been shorter this time. Hope our auntie journalist is a bit more positive this time. See you soon for more interviews.